somebody gotta read something, Rick.
All right, District 1? District 2?
Here?
District 3?
Here.
District 4? District 5?
Here. Superintendent?
Oh, what do you want to say, the pledge?
No, it's not on here. We don't have to do it at this meeting, I don't think, unless we just want to.
She has it on her agenda.
It's fine. I don't think we
It's okay.
It's not on
Are
here.
you ready for my statement, Madam Chair?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
packet she gave you.
Okay, here we go, Madam Chair. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
In accordance with section 200.065 and chapters 1010 and 1011 of the Florida statutes, I previously submitted the tentative balanced budget for the 2018-2019 and recommended the millage to be levied. On July 24th, 2018, you approved the tentative budget and millage for advertising. On August 2nd, 2018, you approved the tentative millage and budgets. The purpose of today's public hearing is to adopt a resolution or ordinance stating the millage rate to be levied and to amend the proposed final budget as you see fit. That budget will then become the official District School Board of Putnam County's budget for fiscal year 2018-2019.
All right. We'll now have an explanation of the rollback rate.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rhonda.
We are here today to present, discuss, and adopt the millage rates and the final district budgets for the 18-19 school year. You've each been given a packet of handouts that we will go through. I do apologize that you are seeing some of these items for the second and third time, but in order to follow the Florida Truth and Millage trim guidelines, I have certain items that I have to present to you and discuss. I've cut the handouts down tremendously over what you had at the tentative budget. They were all informational and everything, but I have added the resolutions that have to be approved and the actual budget transmittal document. So the first thing that I'm required to do is to discuss the rollback rate, and you've all been given a copy of the handout that you received at the last meeting also. That rollback rate is the millage rate that it would take to bring into the district the same amount of tax revenues that we received last year. It is applied to the current year tax base and does not include any effects of new construction. That rollback rate is 6.0167 mills, and our proposed millage rate for 18-19 is 6.1550 mills. That proposed millage rate will bring in 102.30% of the tax revenues that we received last year. So that means our proposed millage rate is 2.30% more than the rollback rate because of the increase in our property tax base in Putnam County. Though we initially had to advertise this is a proposed tax increase, it's only because Putnam's tax base was larger this year. We've actually decreased the millage rates that we are charging. On page 2 of this millage handout, you will note that our actual millage rate is decreasing by 0.199 mills from 6.354 mills levied last year to 6.155 mills for this year. And that decrease is attributable to the decrease in our required local effort that is set by the Florida legislature. Also, if you'll look at page 3 of the handout, if a property owner's appraised value of their property is the same as last year, a person with an appraised valuation of $100,000 after their homestead exemption would see a decrease in school taxes of $14.93. The only way that a taxpayer would see an increase in the school district taxes owed over last year's taxes paid is if the taxpayer's appraised value of their home increased and the additional taxes owed would be on the higher appraised valuation. Moving on, your next handout is the one-page compression of the budget, and it's the district summary budget. It's summarized by fund type, revenue source, and expenditure function. And this did change slightly from our tentative budget as we've had time to post depreciation, compensated absences, OPEB liability, that's other post-employment benefits, to our NEFAC funds. They are required to be treated as a business type entity, and so these are liabilities that are required by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board to be accrued. We had small changes in other funds as additional accounts receivables were made known, or if corrections or something like that had to be made. We did print a brand-new detailed line item notebook, cost center by cost center, and I think Andrea said she put it in this room in here. But from this one-page compression budget document, I want to call your attention to the same two things I always do. And if you look in column 1, general fund, because that's the one I always like to concentrate on. That's the main operating fund of the district. You'll see about halfway down, fund balances, net position, July 1. You'll see that our beginning fund balance in the general fund is $10,026,079.70. And all the way down at the end of that same column, you'll see that our proposed estimated June 30th, 2019 fund balance is $5,677,372.03. Your next handout.
And just point of order there, that, I think that date is
That
incorrect.
date, yeah,
The
it's-
year.
It says
July 1.
June 30th, 2016
16,
on
oh
mine,
goodness, 19.
Make it,
but it's, the
2019.
top of the page is dated fiscal year 2018 and 19.
Yeah, we need
Okay.
to change that on this one. This copy doesn't go
So
anywhere else.
the 2017 should say 2018?
Yes, July 1, 2018 and June 30th, 2019. This is not anything that goes anywhere, and I do apologize for that
That's
mistake.
okay.
And we'll be sure I use the same one year after year and just didn't pick up on, change the dollar amounts and the millages. But,
Blame it on Andrea.
no, I would get in too much trouble for that. I'm not going to blame it on her. Have you dealt with her much?
Yes. Deals with me
Okay.
sometimes.
The very next thing is the explanation of your general fund balance, those two amounts that I called to your attention. I want to discuss them briefly. The 2017-18 ending fund balance of $10,026,079.70, of course, becomes our July 1st beginning fund balance as we move forward. And it is comprised of the reserve for project balances within Fund 100, and those are state and local projects, and they have strings attached. We can't just spend that money any way we
Right.
want to, and we have to keep it in those project numbers until they're totally spent. That was $2.6 million. The reserve for encumbrances in all projects in Fund 100, that is, of course, money already spoken for because purchase orders were done and that money's encumbered. That was $245,000. We have a reserve for inventory. We're required to do an inventory count. That includes things like gasoline, diesel, mechanic parts, things along those lines, anything, packages of pens, pencils, paper. We do an entire count that's required each year, so that's $476,953.67. We've got our carryover 3% mandated unreserved fund balance from the 2017-18 school year of $2,453,000. And last year, for the first time, we had built up an unreserved fund balance of $792,400.93. And then the rest is an unreserved cash fund balance rolled back to POD after all revenues were received and all expenditures made. Some department schools didn't spend all their money. Some revenue sources we received more than budgeted, like I talked about the property, the taxes that we received, things along that line, extra Medicaid revenue in the general fund. And our proposed ending fund balance is a lot less than our beginning fund balance as it is every year. And the main reason for that is that I do not include carryover project balances and carryover encumbrances. I take those out of there because it's assumed that and hope that we'll spend the carryover projects every year so that I don't have to keep carrying them, and that we will receive and pay for all the goods and services that have been encumbered as of June 30th of the year. So the projected 6/30/2019 fund balance is $5,677,372.03 and is broken down as follows. We've got that reserve for inventory again, $476,000. We've got a reserve for McKay scholarships. We received the money for all students in Putnam County, and then any students that are going to school somewhere else on a McKay scholarship, in the fourth calculation of the FEFP, they take the money back away and distribute it out to.
so you don't have to do it, they do it
They
themselves.
take it
Okay.
out, but I always set aside a reserve so it doesn't,
Right.
we always have to keep the budget balanced, and so I have that reserve set aside. I've got the reserve for the FTE audit adjustment, and that's the audit that is done each year. It's also done by the Auditor General's office, just like our financial audit, but they come in and they look at bus riderships, teacher certification, teaching out of field, things along those lines. And there's always a finding every year. And I budgeted $50,000 for that. Now I've got a contingency reserve. I always try to set aside money in case we do not have as many students as we projected.
Right.
And we had a meeting this afternoon working on allocations from our 20-day count, and we are down 63 students over projection. So this money will be, we won't receive those funds because once they do the October FTE count, they'll reduce the money that we're receiving. And I already have this pot setting aside so that when I have to reduce the revenue that we're not going to receive, I can take it from there and not have to affect budgets that are already set and being used.
And so if those 63 show up beyond October, we're not compensated, we just,
They take counts 2 times a year, and
So
the
they're
October
picking up in
count would account for half of the funding that we would receive for a student. If they're in the February count, then we would get a half a year's funding for them.
okay.
I've
That's
also
better
set-
than nothing.
That's correct. I've also set aside a reserve for possible proration of funds available in the state FEFP calculations. If we have another hurricane and tourism is down or whatever, and they don't receive enough funds, or the state doesn't receive as much as they've budgeted, they'll in turn take money away from all the school districts based on a number of FTE and everything. So we've been prorated some in the past, some every year just about. So I've got $300,000 setting aside. At the tentative hearing, Ms. Jorgensen asked for a reserve for liability insurance for the Guardian program. I've got $100,000 set aside for that. I've got a required 3% mandated unreserved fund balance for this year, and the 3% is based on recurring revenues. So got that set aside, and I've got an unreserved fund balance. We added to the amount we had last year, so the total amount is now $1,592,909.87 in unreserved fund balance in the general fund. The next one, we're not really going to go over this in detail. This is one that I'm just doing for informational, and you can examine at your convenience. It's a general fund broken down into all different sources of revenue, transfers in, fund balance, as well as expenditures broken down into salary and benefits, categoricals, charter school share, operational, departmental, board and district initiatives, and it also shows their percentage used of recurring revenue. It also shows our projected year-end fund balance on the next to the last page, and we just discussed that projected fund balance, but as mentioned, we have the required 3%, we have the McKay and everything else, and we have almost that amount in the unreserved fund balance amounts to almost another 2%. So overall, we have budgeted a 6.86% financial condition ratio. Several of the items will be spent out like McKay and FTE audit, so I'm projecting a 5.5 fund balance at the end of this fiscal year. And look the handout over at your convenience. If you have any questions, just stop by, call me, text me, whatever, and I'll be happy to try to answer it for you. If you need any additional information, let me know. The final 2 handouts that you have are new to you, but it's just basically these are required for budget transmittal. This is the board resolution that will have to be signed that certifies the millage rates and the revenue that the millage will bring in. And the last one, it's about a 20-page one, is the actual budget that will have to be transmitted to Tallahassee in the format that they require. And once the budget is approved tonight, that'll be transmitted to Tallahassee tomorrow. So before we go to the roll call vote, are there any questions for me on any of the information I provided or on anything else regarding the
ma'am,
budget?
Just thank you.
I don't know enough to ask you a question, but it's just unbelievable what you do, Londa.
I appreciate it. Anybody can do it with experience. If you love numbers, that
No,
is.
anybody can't do it.
Well, we now need to look at the adoption sheet, and I provided everybody
So
a
it
copy, but
looks-
it's also online, I know. And this one will require roll call vote on each fund's millage rate and each fund's budget and the resolutions and everything, so.
Are these the same as on section C of this agenda?
Yes.
Okay, so Charlie.
Yeah, I do this handout and give it to Sharon, and she puts
Yeah,
it
okay.
online.
Somebody will need to make a motion and we'll
I
second.
make a motion that we go to a roll call vote.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, so somebody will, need to move to approve the final required local effort.
I make a motion that we approve as a board, the final required local effort.
Second.
Effort millage rate of 3.90 mils.
3.9.
907.
7 mils, yeah.
Sandy, you second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. David?
Oh, I need to do the roll call.
You got a roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
District 1, District 2,
Yay.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the final discretionary millage rate of 0.748 mils.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I go ahead.
I make a
Sandy.
motion that we approve the final capital outlay millage rate of 1.500 mils.
Second.
District 1, District 2.
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
Make a motion that we approve the final total millage rate of 6.155 mils, which is 2.3% above the rollback rate.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve the final general fund budget of $96,562,260.03.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sandy.
We're alternating.
Oh, go for it. All right, approve final debt, I make a motion, we approve the final debt service funds budget of $156,769.96.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the final capital projects fund budget of $13,987,959.06.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve final special revenue funds budget of $19,924,561.85.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the final internal service funds budget of $28,194,142.44.
Second that.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve final trust and agency funds budget of $132,759.19.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the final enterprise fund budget of $27,006,046.21.
I second that.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve total district final budget in its entirety of $185,964,498.74.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes. Now,
Make a
we'll- the approval of resolution determining revenues and millages levied for the 2018-2019 school year. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve, we give approval of a resolution determining revenues and millages levied for 2018 and 2019.
Second.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes. Go ahead and do that one, Sandy.
Motion approval of resolution adopting the district summary budget for 2018-2019.
I second that.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
That's all I have, and I appreciate your time.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for all your hard work, Ron.
I appreciate, I'm so sorry.